Clients on Demand teaches coaches, consultants, thought leaders, and professional service providers how to attract the right clients at the right price anytime they want. This podcast is about answering one question: how can you build a sustainable 7 or 8 figure business that changes the world and gets results for your clients without sacrificing your freedom? If you want to know the answer, you're in the right place. All of this information is 100% free, so please subscribe to and review our podcast. All right, guys, it is Russ Ruffino, and welcome to season 3 of the Clients on Demand show, where we show you how to attract the right clients into your business at the right price anytime you want. Today, I have our amazing, brilliant director of sales, Mr. Mark Von Muser, with me. And today we're going to be talking about how to get your business unstuck in 2021. Mark, I just saw that we're coming up on, I think, almost $60 million in high ticket coaching sales over the last few years.
I love that. And I love the fact that A, it's working, B, it's working right now, but C, it's working even better than it was even 5 years ago. How freaking awesome is that?
Oh yeah, it's getting better and better, and it's working for our clients too, which is the most important thing. There's a lot of people out there that, maybe they're a brilliant marketer, they're really great at what they do, they can create fantastic results in their business, but really the key is, can they create great results in your business? Because that's all that should matter to you, right?
Yeah, that's an often overlooked piece. We've talked about it before on previous episodes, but that's one of the tests that we always recommend people doing. Is their program working today? We used to see, God, Russ, you remember how many times people go, oh, let me show you my Wonder program. And then you looked at the details and they hadn't done that for almost 5 years. It's a different market today than it was 5 years ago, period.
Yeah, things change and they change fast, especially when you've got a business that's online, that's built around technology. And so actually that's kind of a nice segue into what we wanted to talk about today, guys. So we know that a lot of people saw their business get completely stuck in 2020. It was a tough year for almost everybody. You had the pandemic, you had the election, you had protests and just all kinds of upheaval. So there's a lot going on in 2020. And we've been getting a lot of questions, a lot of comments from people that basically had their business completely stall out. Now look, our clients that have been following the strategies that we teach, most of them had their best year ever in 2020, and they're continuing that momentum into 2021. But if you guys are coming out of 2020 and you just feel like your business is stuck, today we're going to talk about 3 ways to get your business completely unstuck. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How do you get back into that momentum? How do you get your business to the point where you're growing, you're seeing your revenue get bigger every day, you're attracting the kind of clients that you want, and it's basically back to normal, back to smooth sailing, continuous, constant growth? How do you do that?
I'm excited about this topic because this comes up a lot, and it's almost sounds too good to be true, Russ. But I went back through and looked at our client list, and I could not find anybody in any of our groups that, even though some of them are brand new, I'm not counting those because they're brand new and just starting, but it's amazing when you have people in your group that are doing $250,000 during the COVID crisis, during the lockdowns, during all of this. And in the masterminds, in the different groups, people that are having their best year ever, even on industries like event planning, which were completely shut down. That's a testament to a proven system with expert leadership and coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, so let's dive into that first step. The first thing you need to do is to get crystal clear on your numbers. Get crystal clear on where you're at today. Mark, it drives me crazy when I watch shows like Shark Tank, or I watch shows like The Profit, and, the guy running the show, or, I don't know, Mark Cuban, David John, whoever it is talking to these small business owners. And it's like, cool, exactly how much revenue did you do in your business last year? And they're like, I don't know, or exactly, cool, exactly how much profit did you bring in your business? And they're like, I don't know, you had a pretty good year. I don't know. So guys, look, the first thing you got to do is you got to get clear on what's going on right now. Now, look, we know that this can be tough. It can be tough, especially if 2020 wasn't the best year for you. It's gonna hurt to dig in there and to look at those numbers. But burying your head in the sand and not getting real about where you are right now is a strategy that I can promise you, it's guaranteed to fail. It's guaranteed to fail. So you got to look into your numbers. You have to look into your revenue. You have to look into your bank account, and you have to take a look and just take stock. Just take a look and see what's going on. Now, don't let it bum you out. Don't let it send you into this place of stress. Don't let it send you into a place of suffering, because it's just where we are today. But we can't get where we want to go tomorrow if we don't know where we are today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it reminds me of the military, Russ. When I was in the military and I was doing navigation out at recon school in the Camp Pendleton, when you get dropped in somewhere, the first thing you have to do is orientate yourself and look at where am I on the map. That's step one. You have to look at the mountain peaks, you look at the river, you look at a tree, you look at anything that is a definable area. And in our case, that means enrollments, that means calls, that means leads. Those are the type of things that you can't sugarcoat. And the minute you know where you are, now you can start deciding where you want to go. And a lot of people skip that step. And it's kind of like, oh, well, I always go this way. Well, not if you got dropped in the wrong spot. And right now, 2020 kind of knocked a lot of people off the map. So they don't know where they're starting. And it's very similar. I remember I went to the mall a while back. It's right up where you used to live, up in South Coast Plaza. It's a gigantic mall. And there's like 50 different places you can enter. And depending on where you walk in, the first thing you do is go look for the map that says we are here. Now, when I have that map, now I can decide, secondly, where I want to go. And then I decide if I go left or right, up a floor, around the block. But without that, you can't tell where you need to go. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I see people making, and you see, is people start this plan, but they're not really looking at how many calls are they getting, how many leads did they or did they not get. But bottom line is, how many new clients did they get? There's always a story, there's always a reason, but without that clarity, you really can't decide how to get unstuck.
So what you need to do is really just check in with yourself. You have to ask yourself a couple questions. Number one, exactly how much revenue did you bring in last month? Is it what you wanted, or is it not what you wanted? Number two, how many clients did you bring in last month? Number three, were they the kinds of clients that you wanted, or were they not? Number four, how many leads did you get? Maybe you how many people did you speak to about joining your programs? Did you speak to 10 people? Did you speak to 20 people? Did you speak to 0 people? And guys, listen, I know it can be tough, but I think the reason it's tough is because people make a very basic mistake. They look at those numbers and they see those numbers as a cause. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that you look at those numbers. Well, I didn't get any leads. I didn't enroll any new clients last month. And you give power to that number. I didn't enroll any clients last month, therefore, and then you start building a story on top of it. Therefore, I'm not cut out for this. Therefore, I'm a failure. Therefore, God doesn't really want me to do this, or whatever story you build for yourself. Now, I think that's the wrong way to look at it. The right way to look at these numbers is to understand what they really are. They're not a cause, they're an effect. Those numbers are the effects of yesterday's thinking, of yesterday's strategies. Whatever you were doing last month, whatever you were doing last quarter, those numbers are a reflection of that. But guess what? If you start doing something different this quarter, if you start thinking differently, if you start acting differently, if you find yourself a better strategy, and we're going to talk about that in just a second, then you can change what those numbers are going to look like tomorrow. So please understand, guys, that those numbers, yeah, they might be good, they might be bad, but whatever they are, you have the power to change them. It's really important that you see that. Because not paying attention to the numbers, we already know that's not a great strategy. That's just not going to work. But the other thing that's not going to work is to allow those numbers to bum you out if they're not what you want. You have the power to change those. And by a couple simple tweaks, a couple simple changes to your strategy, we're able to take clients from doing, $5K a month in their business to $200K a month in their business to $500K a month in their business. It's not that big of a change. Sometimes it can be these tiny little distinctions that make a huge difference. It's like if you're hitting a golf ball, a difference between a club pointed like 1 degree one way or 1 degree the other way. It might not seem that much when you're hitting the ball, but the ball's going to end up 100 yards one way or 100 yards the other way. So these tiny little decisions, these tiny little strategic choices that you make in your business right now today can have a massive effect on the way 2021 unfolds for you and unfolds for your business. And that's what we're talking about today.
Russ, there's one other thing I want to stack on that, because you said something about not suffering or getting paralyzed when you look at your numbers. There's one other thing, I fully agree with that, but there's one other aspect I wanted to bring. And that's also to don't sugarcoat it and bring a different story. By that, I mean, I hear this on the phone. People say, we're doing about 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month. And when we probe and look at it, that was in 2018. That was in 2019. And 2020 wiped them off the mat. Right now is not 2018. It's a different market. There are different challenges. It's a completely different ball game. And what some people do to feel better is they're going, oh yeah, we're doing 120,000. And it's not true. That was what they did before the crisis hit. That's what they did before. Today is a different market. And so when you look at January, you look at February, how many new clients did you get? What was the bankroll? What did you bring in? How many new leads did you get? How's your lead flow working? That's a much better indicator about the truth versus what I did in 2018 or 19.
Right, guys. So you don't want to be in denial about those numbers either. If those numbers are not what you want, then you have to make a change. And look, chances are that in your business, you've been following a strategy that doesn't work. Maybe you've been sitting there on Instagram and you've been just trying to post to Instagram every day, or you've been all over social media and you're grinding out blog posts or Instagram posts, or you're creating 10 videos a day, or you're just doing all this busy work that all these other people are telling you to do. And if that strategy hasn't paid off for you, good. That's because that strategy doesn't work. And so if you tried those things and it didn't work for you, it's not your fault. But now that you know that, you owe it to yourself to find something better. Make sense? And that
1,000%.
and that brings us to the second shift, which is to get yourself a proven plan that works now. So take stock of where you're at. If it's not where you want it to be, make a decision to change, and then get yourself a proven plan that works right now. So let's talk a little bit about the strategy that's working so well for our clients to bring people into their business. Now, look, guys, I don't want this to sound like an infomercial or sound like we're bragging or whatever, but the bottom line is that in 2020, we were still able to get some life-changing, incredible results for our clients. And I wouldn't be serving you guys if I didn't talk to you about how the hell we did that. Because I want to expand your horizons, expand your notions of what's possible, expand your ideas about what you can achieve. So the first thing that we teach in our strategy, number one, is we teach our clients to enroll new clients at a high ticket price. So whatever price point you're charging right now, maybe you're selling ebooks for, I don't know, $27, or maybe you've got a $100 video course, or maybe you're even charging by the hour. You're seeing clients in your office, you're seeing clients on Zoom, you're seeing clients on the phone, you're charging them $100 an hour for coaching or something like that. The first thing that we think you ought to do is to raise your prices. And when we say raise your prices, I mean you should be commanding $3,000, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 prices for every single client who comes in the door. The second thing we want you to be doing is we want you to be delivering your product or your service completely online. And that's absolutely essential, especially in this time of pandemic. If your business is dependent on live events, or if your business is dependent on getting a bunch of people into a room, or if your business is dependent on getting even one person into your office, that business model is dying fast because this pandemic is killing it off. So whatever you do, you have to find a way to deliver your value, to deliver your expertise in a way that is completely 100% online. And that's what we do. And that's what we teach our clients to do. And then the third thing you need to do is you need to deploy a client attraction process that works, and it works fast. So let me talk about what I mean. This basic strategy that we use for our clients is we teach them how to run ads on social media. Then when people click on those ads, we take them to about a 45-minute presentation. That's a video, a webinar, something like that. People watch that presentation, and then they can reach out and schedule a call if they're interested in becoming a client. And with just that dead simple strategy, ad, webinar, phone call, new client, we've got our clients scaling their business to $200,000 a month, $300,000 a month, $500,000 a month, like that. Because what we're doing there, guys, is we're cutting out all the busy work. We're not asking you to create a bunch of content. We're not asking you to post on Instagram 16 times a day. We're asking you to create a couple ads, run them on social media, and drive them into a process that works to commanding those kinds of premium prices. Now, that's just a really quick overview of our strategy. And of course, it's much more complex, and there's a lot of detail that we're leaving out here because we only have a little bit of time today. But once this thing is up and running, some very cool things happen. Number one, you get to take people from clicking on your ad to enrolling as a new client at a $3,000, $5,000, or $10,000 price within 24 to 48 hours. Then you get to serve those clients in a way that is completely and 100% online. That means you can work from anywhere in the world. You can go where you want to go. You can do what you want to do. You can work from home. You can spend time with your kids. You can travel. We have clients that, run their whole business as they bounce around the world, travel around the world. So basically, you get to design your life exactly the way that you want it while you're bringing in the income that you want and while you're changing the world one client at a time. Does all that make sense? When you put these pieces together, you get this strategy where you can enroll clients anytime you want, and you can serve them online. And it's a business model that can scale very quickly to $20K a month, and then $200K a month and beyond, up to 1.5 million a month, which is about where we're at right now. So this is the kind of strategy that I'm talking about. It's working right now. It's working today. It's not something that, people were doing 2 years ago and then it stopped working. We've been following this strategy, refining this strategy for about 7 years now, and it just keeps getting better and better and better.
Yeah, and the fruit is on the tree. That's one of the other ones that you look at. And I remember back, Russ, remember when the big launches were the big deal?
Yeah.
And the only person making money on those big launches was the guy on stage.
Right.
You know, when you put 5,000 people in a room and you sell them on the hype about what's possible with internet marketing, that's great. But notice how the clients weren't really getting the results, and giving more information is not going to do it. Information is honestly, it's not worth all that much. You can get everything you pretty much need on Google. So why isn't everybody successful? That's because you need a proven plan, and the devil's in the details. It's in those key moments throughout the process that a buyer is saying yes or no to the next level. And that's really a big part. But a proven plan works. And it's what's great about it. It can be replicated. We've had this plan work with people with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. We've had them work with handstands. We've had it work with therapists. We've had it work with business coaches, life coaches, health coaches, weight loss coaches, relationship coaches. You name it, even tantric. We have people in there. We have all sorts of people that are using this model, and it works across the board because it is, as the key word, proven. And that's where it gets exciting, because most of our clients want to have impact. And if we tie the impact back to number one, which was look at your numbers. Everybody that we know loves it. They love people, but they want to help people. But if you're not getting new clients, your impact is almost zero. And that creates a new problem. So you need a proven plan today that works today, that's still working. Otherwise, it's like you're throwing spaghetti at a wall and hoping something sticks. That's not a great strategy if you want to get unstuck in 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. And before I started using this strategy in our business, Mark, I mean, you know, before you were even here, that's what it felt like. You know, I was selling my stuff online. I was selling ebooks. I was selling stuff at a low ticket price. And yeah, I was making some money, not the kind of money we're making today, but I was doing okay. But the biggest problem was that I wasn't really making an impact. You know, people would buy an ebook or whatever. They buy information from me. And like you said, information is not enough. You know, most people who are trying to make a major change in their life, they're trying to get their business on track. They're trying to lose 60 pounds. They're trying to find the love of their life. They're trying to fix their marriage. Their problem is not that they don't have the information. You can get the information anywhere. The problem is that they don't have somebody to mentor and guide them through a process of transformation that actually creates results. And so when we switched our business to this model, not only did we 10x and then probably 20x the revenue that we were doing, but now we got to really make an impact. Where every day, guys, look, I wake up and, you know, throw on, you know, grab my phone and open up Facebook, and in our clients' Facebook groups, it's nothing. My whole news feed is just celebration, win of our clients posting their successes, posting, I just enrolled a new client at $9,000. I just had my first $60,000 month. Literally to the point where just to kind of scroll through everything and comment on everything and say, hey, just congratulations. It literally takes like 45 minutes a day. And so that's what I mean when I say impact, is that yes, we want you to make the money that you want to make. And yes, we want you to have the kind of freedom that you want to have in your life. But more than anything else, we want you to be making a difference in the world. We want you to be changing the world one client at a time, because you have gifts and you have talents that nobody else has. And those potential clients that you've been looking for, they're out there and they need you. Not me, not Mark, not some other guy, not some other gal. They need you. But if you don't have a dialed in marketing process like we're talking about, they're never going to find you. And if they don't find you, then you can't make a difference in their lives. And to me, that's the saddest thing in the world. So a minute ago, we talked about taking stock of some of those big questions in your business. You know, exactly how much revenue did you generate last month? Exactly how many leads did you generate? Exactly how many clients did you enroll, et cetera, et cetera. But another question I'd like you to take a look at is, what kind of an impact are you making on the world? How many people can you point to and say, hey, you know what? I changed their life. This person signed up for my program. This person signed up for my workshop. And today their life is totally different than it was when I found them. They came to me, their marriage is falling apart. Now it's back together. They came to me, they were in terrible shape. They had all these health problems, and now they're in the best shape of their lives. They came to me, their business wasn't working out, and now it's firing on all cylinders. I want you guys 6 months from now to be able to look back and point to all of these people and say, hey, you know what? They joined my program and they did the work, and we got them an amazing result, and we changed their lives. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. And I can tell you from experience, when you're first starting out, the money means everything, right? Like when you're first starting out, it's like, dude, Russ, I need to pay my mortgage. All right. I got to get some money in the door. And I understand that. But once you get to a certain point, you're making 100,000 a month, 200,000 a month, you're making $1 million a month, whatever. And you're in, 7-8 figure territory. It really stops being about the money and it starts being about the lives you change along the way. And I know that might be hard for you to get your head around right now if you're just kind of in survival mode, but there's a whole other level beyond survival mode where you're showing up every day, excited and enthusiastic for the mission. The money's there, but that's not what gets you out of bed in the morning. What gets you out of bed in the morning is the lives that you change along the way. So even if you're not at that point yet in your business, I just wanted to talk about that for a second because I want you to understand that that's really what it's about for us. It's about results, results, results. We want to have a profitable business. Yes, we want to have a business where we're all free to do what we want to do and we're all free to work from home and we have this tremendous freedom in our lives. But really, really, what gets you out of bed in the morning is the difference you're making in the world.
There was something else that's a huge, huge point that you just made, Russ, which I really love, is about the impact, because freedom comes on the other side of how much impact you've given to the world. Mm-hmm. How many people have you liberated out of their pain? But there was another aspect too that we really haven't talked about, which is the lifestyle. And that's one of the other ones too. I believe COVID and all the challenges really exposed a lot of the outdated business models, and they're forcing people to step up and start looking at a new business model. Like you said, even doctors now are going to telemedicine. There's lots of people now having to try and figure out, how do I get online? And we even have people in our business, therapists who had a brick and mortar therapy practice, and had it not been for their online, they would have been done. And now all of a sudden, both of their businesses have gotten better. But there's another aspect to which we haven't talked about, and that's lifestyle. What I love about this model and a proven plan is that you can do it from anywhere. If you've got Wi-Fi and you've got an internet connection, right now we have Leslie and Doug, the relationship coaches. They're doing it from Costa Rica. They just decided to go down there for a month or two. They're doing it from Costa Rica. Pamela is in Ghana right now. She was in Spain. Before that, she was in Switzerland, and she's going around, but she's doing her business while she's there. And, we had Kate Mansfield that was doing it in Punta Cana, and all these people that go to the Caribbean or these different places. That's pretty cool, where you can have impact, but you can have the lifestyle that you wanted, because the plan, like a great recipe, carries the weight, and then you just have to execute.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, so when I first started, that was my dream. I wanted to go and I wanted to travel around. Now I'm 40. I got a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and another one on the way. So I'm not going anywhere, but we live in the mountains. We live in this beautiful, like 19,000 square foot house. You can create whatever life you want, guys. Mm-hmm. You really can. We've got about 32 people now who work at Clients on Demand. Everybody works remotely. We got people in Great Britain. We have people in Poland. We have people in Romania. We have people all over the world. And everyone is working from home and everyone is enjoying this kind of lifestyle business. And, to be honest, I really think that's a big part of the reason why the pandemic didn't hit our clients' businesses as hard as it hit everybody else, because the whole model is virtual already.
Yeah.
It's not dependent on seeing people face to face. It's not dependent on packing a bunch of people into a room and then trying to sell them some stuff. The whole thing works online. And very, very, very lucky for us, we were already operating that way when this whole thing started.
That's a big one, guys. And again, once people get a taste of it, it's not going away. So you guys want to make a decision to jump on board. And if you look at your numbers, how much money did you make in January? How many new clients did you bring in January? How much impact did you have in January and February? That's a good indicator that it's time, very much likely, that you need to up your plan and start using something that works right now.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And that brings us to the third step, which is to get an expert mentor who is crushing it right now. Get an expert mentor who's crushing it right now. So look, first of all, you are not going to learn how to do this stuff by watching videos on YouTube. You're not going to learn how to do this stuff from a book. You can learn different tactics. Yes, you can learn different strategies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, there is so much standing between you, where you are now and where you're trying to go, that a book or a $27 ebook or a $97 video course or whatever is not going to bridge that gap. It's just not. You've got to take the shortcut. And the shortcut is to find somebody that you vibe with, who's getting the kind of results that you want, whose clients are getting the kind of results that you want, and pay this person what it takes to mentor with them so that they can show you how to take your business where you want it to go. That for me has been the biggest shortcut in my business. When I was first starting out, I spent at least $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 on different coaches and different mentors to learn how to do this stuff. And some of them weren't that good. Some of them were world class. But even the ones that weren't that great, I still learned something from. And of course, the ones that were world class, I learned a lot from. But if I didn't have that foundation, if I didn't have those people showing me the ropes, pushing me forward, I wouldn't be where I am right now. It's really, really important that you guys understand that. If you're not taking advantage of that shortcut, if you're saying to yourself, oh, I'm gonna figure it all out on my own. I mean, you're adding 20, 30, 40 years literally to your learning curve. And I don't know about you, but I don't have that kind of time. And my wife certainly didn't have that kind of time when I was starting this out. She wasn't my wife then, she was my girlfriend. But when I first dove into this, she was incredibly supportive. But I mean, if I was coming on year 10 and I still didn't have any results, we'd be having a totally different conversation. But because I invested in what I needed to invest in to learn how to do this stuff properly, I was able to go and, my very first year in business, I quit my bartending job and I think I did $250,000 that very first year, which was like 10 times more than I'd ever made in my entire life. The reason I was able to do that is because I went out there and I invested in people who could show me how. So if you're not doing that, you absolutely need to.
Russ, let me go ahead and break down a little bit more about at least my perspective of what it means to be an expert as well, because that's one of the things I have a pet peeve with a lot of these guys. They go and do it one time, maybe, they had a little bit of success. So they did it 1 month and now all of a sudden they're out there recruiting and telling other people they can help. So let's break down what it means to be an expert.
Sure.
Number one that I look at is longevity. How long have they had success? Is this a one-time month because you've seen that as well? Or is this something that they consistently month in, month out, year after year after year are still generating massive success? That's the first one. The second thing, which I think is even more relevant for most people listening, is the width, meaning, oh, wow, they only help themselves, but could they help you? Can they help somebody in relationships? Do they also help them in obscure things like IBS or Hashimoto's disease? Can they help people with handstands? Can they help business coaches? Can they help anti-stress coaches, anxiety stress, coaches, high-risk teens? So how many types of people have they helped? That's critical because in this industry, your niche is probably going to be a little bit different. The third is it current? This one was, you remember, Russ, there was somebody that took your ad copy, they took your website, the metadata. And
that's happened a few times. Yeah.
And they're trying to copy your stuff because they haven't been relevant for about 5 to 7 years. Their stuff worked before the internet really took off. They had a little success with the event model, a little success here. So now they're trying to copy it. But is their success current? Next one is they have lots of success. By that, I mean their clients. This is the one almost nobody talks about. If you look at those infomercials, Russ, this is always funny as hell. You see these infomercials, buying no money down. They always talk about people who are attending the event under the ether. Oh, it's so great. This was such a great seminar. But none of them are saying, I bought 20 houses in the last month. Nobody is doing that. And in our program, which I'm most proud of, is the success of our clients across the board. Brand new introverts, psychologists, therapists, people that worked in HVAC, people that worked in cleaning companies, but they're experts in their niche. And to see the width and the longevity and the success of our clients, that says volumes. It's enough to have you have success as a person on stage, but can you look at your clients and hold them up and show how many of those people are successful? Because that's the real key.
Exactly. So just to recap on what Mark said, how do you know the difference between a mentor who's worth working with and someone who isn't? Because let's be honest, everybody's ads essentially look the same. Sometimes people have a great ad. Sometimes you see an ad that's not so great. But if your newsfeed, like on Facebook, looks anything like mine, or if you see the same YouTube ads that I see, it's the ads. It's pretty much people just saying the same stuff again and again and again, right? So how do you tell the difference when you do a deep dive and you say, hey, is this somebody that I really want to work with? What do you look for? Well, like Mark said, you want to make sure that they're having success themselves. Number two, you want to make sure that their clients are having success. and that they can actually give their power to other people. And this is key because there's a lot of people that are brilliant marketers, but bad teachers. And they're brilliant marketers, but they're bad mentors. They can get great results in their business. I mean, they can move mountains, they can do brilliant things, but they can't give that power to the people that they're working with. So you got to understand, are they getting results? Are their clients getting results? Are they getting results right now, today? And this wasn't something that worked 2 years ago and then stopped working. Are they getting results consistently? Are they getting results across a wide variety of clients like Mark talked about? You know, black, white, gay, straight, Christian, Jewish, atheist, American, European, British. Like, we have clients from all over the world, from all walks of life. In fact, they don't really have very much in common. The one thing they have in common is that they showed up and they did the work. And you want to work with someone that can say, listen, if you show up and if you do the work, this is going to work for you. And here's all the proof, and here's all the clients that you can see right now today that are crushing it with this system. And then I would also say that you want to work with someone that's got sky high integrity, very sky high integrity. And you know the difference because they're not gonna, I don't even know how to say this, Mark. they're not gonna manipulate you. All right. In other words, I've worked with people in the past where I would ask them a question that they didn't know the answer to. Like, hey, how do I don't know, run ads on Facebook? And rather than just say, you know what? I don't know, but I'll find out for you. They would try to make me the problem. They would try to make me the bad guy. Well, Russ, have you ever had a client that asked for a refund? Yeah, like 6 months ago, a guy wanted a refund. Okay, well, until you plug that hole in your business, you have no business asking about how to do ads on Facebook. So you see people doing like a lot of kind of like shady-ish manipulative stuff like that. So if you get that vibe from somebody that you're working with, go find someone else. But those are the things that you guys should be looking for in a mentor. So again, the most important thing is to have a mentor. Don't be one of those fools that thinks you can figure this out on your own. You cannot. I'm a smart guy. Mark's a smart guy. People we work with are smart people. None of them could figure it out on their own. All right. And if they couldn't, it's like, why even try? Go out there and learn from the best. And then once you've decided to work with someone, use those criteria that Mark and I just shared with you to assess whether that person is a good fit, or to assess whether or not you're just getting sucked in by some marketing hype, which, let's be honest, happens to all of us from time to time.
Yeah. And moving forward, guys, this is really important because the topic today is getting unstuck in 2021. Even if you were the 1 in 10,000 that really could, let's say you had it all dialed in, you knew how to do enrollment calls, you knew how to do targeting, you knew how to do Facebook ads, you knew how to write really powerful ad copy. The opportunity cost alone, which means how much money you will lose while you're trying to figure out, it's very likely the market has already moved. We have people that have come in here, and I remember we heard somebody last week, they talked with us 4 years ago. They tried to do it themselves. Now, they've barely been hanging on. They had to keep the brick and mortar, but they never got their online figured out. They wasted a ton of time, a ton of money. They missed a ton of clients because they didn't know what they were doing. And now they're back to square one. So 2021 is going to be exactly what you want it to be. But the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So if you look at your bank account and the number of clients in January, February, and it's not what you want, then you need a proven plan and an expert mentor. The other one, Russ, that I would stack, that they actually care. That's, for me, integrity is a big one, but also the care. I've seen a lot of these guys, you hear them, and they almost kind of act as if the client is there to provide their lifestyle. They disparagingly talk about them behind the scenes, and that just doesn't work for me. I wanted to know and be around. It's what I'm most proud of with Clients on Demand is the depth of caring that we show for clients. And guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't happen. We love our clients and we create that and lead by example. And I can just tell you, I'm speaking from my gut and my heart here, is that not everybody out there gives a crap about you. Breaks my heart, but it's like when you've been in enough back rooms and speaking engagements and you hear these guys talk, I'm real proud of us. I'll just say that. I love the way that we love on clients. And to me, that's a big one, because when you really love your clients at the highest level, you'll do everything you can. And again, that now amplifies that integrity Russ is talking about. But for me, that's a big one.
That's really critical, guys. Does the person that you're working with truly care about getting you results? Or are they just going to, give you a bunch of information and just say, hey, cool, go figure this out? Or are they going to provide you with the sort of support, the sort of hand holding? Not just for the strategy. Yeah, you need somebody to take a look at your Facebook campaigns. You need somebody to take a look at your webinars. Are they going to provide that level of attention? But also for your mindset as well. Because what we find that holds people back isn't just the strategy. It's that everyone in your family from time immemorial has never made more than $30,000 a year, and you just made $30,000 in one day. When things like that happen to you, you might think to yourself, well, Russ, man, if I made $30,000 in a day, that'd be like the coolest thing that ever happened to me. Yes, it would. But there's gonna be a lot of stuff that might trigger for you that you don't even know is there. And one of the biggest challenges we have with our highest level clients isn't getting them to their first $100,000 month. It's that we get them to their first $100,000 month and they kind of freak out. They've never made that much money before. No one in their family's ever made that much money before. It's an insane amount of money and it's so outside their comfort zone that they start to freak out a little bit. And we have to be there to hold their hand and coach them through that. So that's what I'm saying, guys, is whatever program you're investing in, whatever person that you're working with, are they going to provide you with that level of support? Because that's what it takes to get results. And if they're not willing to do that, then I don't think that's a program that you should be investing in. They've got to be there for you through thick and thin, through every question that you have, through every support ticket that you send in. They've got to look at your stuff. They have to make sure it's great. They have to hold your hand and coach you through this entire process of getting results. And that's why we tell people at Clients on Demand, we say, listen, whatever your goal is, you want to get to 30,000 a month, 40,000 a month, 100,000 a month, whatever it is, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but we will hold your hand and we will guide you every step of the way so that we can make it as simple and smooth as possible for you to get where you want to go. And that's what you really want to look for in someone that you work with, is do they care at that level? So guys, let's just recap really quickly. How are you going to get unstuck in 2021? Number one, take stock of where you are right now. Get clear on your numbers and do a reality check. Is this where you want to be, or is it not where you want to be? If it's not where you want to be, it's time to make a change. Number two, use a proven plan that is working right now today. And number three, get yourself an expert mentor who's crushing it right now and do everything that person tells you to do. So guys, look, it's all right there for you. 2021 could be the best year you have ever had in your business. And if you want our help to make that happen, then here's what I have for you. Our team has set aside some time in the next 48 hours or so to speak to you personally about how you can apply these ideas to your business starting today. So here's the way that works. I want you guys to go to clientsondemand.com/talk. That's clientsondemand.com/talk. When you go to that link, there's gonna be a calendar there. And that calendar is gonna have a bunch of available appointment times. Choose an appointment time that works for you, and our team will call you at the appointment time that you chose, and we'll get on the phone for about 45 minutes. We'll put our heads together. You can tell us everything that's working in your business, everything that's not working in your business. You can tell us where you want to be, where you want to go, where you are, and we'll put our heads together and we'll come up with a step-by-step game plan to get you where you want to go. And there's no charge for this. It is absolutely free. This is a service that we provide to anybody who needs it. And yes, we may make an offer for you to work with us if we think it's a fit. If it's not a fit, we'll tell you that too. If it is, we might make an offer for you to work with us. If you decide to move forward with it, cool. If not, that's cool too. But either way, that call is going to be the most valuable 45 minutes or so you've ever spent working on your business. Now, real quick, it's not for everybody. Here's who this is for. Number one, you must be able to solve a major life or business challenge in your work. That means that you're a coach, you're a consultant, you help people get in great shape. You help people fix their relationships. You help people fix their business. So you must solve a major life or business challenge in your work. And number two, you must have sky-high integrity. And if that is you, then I want you to go to clientsondemand.com right now and book an appointment to speak to us. Because again, it'll be the best 45 minutes you've ever spent working on your business.
And the guys and the gals on the phone are just, first off, amazing human beings. Yes. Secondly, they're also going to be there as a way to, you might not know whether this funnel will work for you, this type of business plan will work for you, but they do. They've they know who we can target. They know where these people live on Facebook or on YouTube. They also know what people are paying for your type of solution. And they'll be able to discern whether or not you're really great at what you do. A lot of times people get on the phone and they're like, yeah, I just don't know if this will work for me. And our team walks them through it. Yep, we know that one. We know that niche. We know that targeting. We know that people are paying a lot. And they transfer that, and it goes a long way as you're working with these people, because that's where it gets fun. These guys are experts at knowing who this will work for. And then it really comes down to, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you ready to get rich? Are you ready to have impact? And if the answer is yes, then let's rock. And if not, we can part friends. But like Russ said, it will be the best 45 minutes you've spent on your business. And if not ever, a very long time.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. I'm Russ Ruffino. That is Mark Von Muser from Clients on Demand. And we will catch you guys on the next show. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. A brand new episode will be released every Wednesday, so be sure to click subscribe. If you like what you heard and you're interested in seeing if you're fit to work with Clients on Demand, here's what I want you to do next. Head over to clientsondemand.com/call. That's clientsondemand.com/CALL and book an appointment to speak with our team. We'll get on the phone with you for about 45 minutes and we'll get you crystal clear on 3 things. Number 1, the exact price you should be charging, whether that's $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 or more. Number 2, the exact target audience you should be going after. And number 3, the exact strategy that you should be using to reach them. Remember, building an incredible coaching, business, or professional services company does not happen by itself. You need expert guidance to make it happen. And we've helped clients from all over the world scale their businesses to 6 or 7 figures while enjoying life and making the world a better place along the way. So to see if we can help you do the same, head over to clientsondemand.com/call. I'm Russ Ruffino, and let's talk soon.